Total Access NGA Show 2013 is brought to you by Well Picked Berries.
Hello and welcome to Supermarket News Total Access. The independent retail community is gathering in Las Vegas for the 2013 NGA show, and we're taking an insider's look through interviews with conference speakers and other industry leaders. I'm David Orgel, editor-in-chief of Supermarket News, and with me is Phil Lempert, the supermarket guru.
Thank you, David. Peter Larkin, the president and CEO of the National Grocers Association, is with us. Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, the Beltway is just getting started. New congressmen, new senators. President Obama has just started his second term. Can you share with us the key legislative and regulatory issues that NGA is facing?
Absolutely. It's going to be a challenging year. We've already been up on the Hill talking to new members of Congress and reacquainting ourselves with those that have come back. But I think, like most organizations, with the subject of tax reform being on the table, it is so vitally important to our members. Over 70% of our members are LLCs or S Corps, which doesn't mean a lot to many people, but it means they're pass-through entities and they're taxed just like individuals are. So when we start talking about tax reform, corporate rates versus individual rates, it really impacts our members. So tax reform is going to be key. Now that the president has been reelected, now that the Supreme Court has made their decision on the Affordable Care Act, really the implementation of that and how it impacts retailers and independent grocers is also high on our agenda. There are going to be hundreds of new regulations that are coming out over the next several months. We have to understand them. We have to talk to the regulators. We have to help our members understand what's in them, how it's going to impact them. We just need a vast educational program to be able to help them understand how it's going to impact their business. The food stamp program, or as it's now known, the SNAP program, is also going to be on the agenda. There are some that want to just take the money and give it to the states and block grant it. We think that would be a horrible mistake, and we're going to be making sure that our new and returning legislators understand how bad that could be. We need a uniform program across the United States, just like we have had for many, many years. So that's going to be another important issue, and many, many more. I'm not sure if I'm glad to say that because that's what we do, or sad to say it because there's so much on the table and it is so important for our members.
Well, Peter, you certainly have the back of independents in the face of challenges, but one of the biggest variables remains the economy. How do you see independents faring at this point in the economic recovery, and what are some of the strategies your members are pursuing to strengthen their own businesses?
David, it's a great question. And, fortunately, the independent retailer has a real advantage in this area. And that is because they are so close to their customers, much closer than a lot of the larger publicly traded big chain operators. Our members have their finger on the pulse of their customers. And as a result of that, they were able to and will continue to be able to adapt, be flexible, listen to the concerns that are on the minds of their customers, and respond accordingly. I'd be lying if I said that they didn't have their issues during this incredibly difficult economic period that hopefully we're just coming out of. But the numbers would tell you that they've survived, they've held their own, and I think they're poised for growth.
There's been a lot of buzz about the new NGA research initiative that quantifies the economic impact of the independent grocery sector on the U.S. food distribution system and on the economy. An ambitious activation at the least. Tell us a bit more, and what's the objective?
Well, I can tell you, I've been in this job for about 2.5 years, and probably the question I am asked most frequently is just how large is the independent grocery channel? Unfortunately, I've never had what I would consider to be reliable data, nor is there a common definition of what that even means. So I went to our board of directors last fall and I said to them, look, we need to address this issue. They agreed, they approved us moving forward. We went out and hired the John Dunham and Associates firm out of New York, a very reputable economic research firm. And from that point forward, we have been going out trying to measure what is the size of the independent channel. First, we had to define it. And in our definition, we're going with the low end, companies that do $2 million in sales or above, full line grocery stores, $2 million and above, privately held, not publicly traded, so kind of the NGA member definition, if you will, and taking out all of the top end publicly held chains. So that's the kind of parameters. And we're going out, we have been over the past several months going out and trying to quantify what are the sales for the channel, how many jobs are created, how many wages are being paid, what are the taxes that are being paid. And we're going to hopefully very soon, I'll have some results to share at the show, but probably in March, we're going to be able to unveil the full report. I am very excited to be able to answer that question for the very first time.
Well, Peter, congratulations on realizing the importance of measurement in all of these areas. And I guess along that topic, can you give us a quick update on membership and recruitment?
We've had a great year. Most people that have been paying attention to NGA have heard about our member value proposition project. It's something we launched back in 2010, and we really decided to go out and listen to our members, find out what they wanted, what was missing in our value proposition, and what was it that was going to provide an adequate return on investment for their dues dollar. We listened, we heard, as a result of what we heard, we put together 8 separate initiatives that are trying to increase that value proposition and make NGA even a better trade association than we were before. We must be making some progress because just in the last 12 months, we've had 100 new retailer wholesaler members, 75 new supplier manufacturer members, and I think equally important, our retention rate, a key metric in the association world, we're at 90%. So the numbers are looking good, and I think next year is going to be even better.
Well, that's great, and that's a really good story to have as you go into the NGA show. So congratulations on that too. Thanks for taking the time to join us today, Peter.
My pleasure. Look forward to seeing you at the show.
And to our audience, be sure to visit supermarketnews.com for more on the 2013 NGA show and to see more interviews just like this one. Thanks for watching.
Total Access NGA Show 2013 is brought to you by Well Picked Berries.